What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the World Hard Enduro Podcast, episode 47. It's here, the first round of the FIM Hard Enduro World Championship 2025. Let's go.
We are heading to Valleys Hard Enduro in South Wales from the 10th to the 11th of May. In this episode, we discuss a little bit about what to expect with regards to the race schedule, who is actually racing, and what kind of prize money is on the line. We also give you a little bit of an update on the FIM Hard Enduro World Championship and how you can follow along. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Before we get into that, I have a favor to ask you guys. If you guys enjoy our content here at the World Hard Enduro, it would mean a lot to us if you had to follow along and just share this with your friends. The best way to follow along is just by hitting that subscribe button, whether you're on podcast platforms or on YouTube. That really does help us here and just keeps us going, right?
Yeah.
But let's really get into the episode now.
I be smoking on that motherfucker. I be real just like
Round one of the 2025 FIM Hard Enduro World Championship happening this weekend in the UK. I mean, honestly, I did not think that this was going to happen, but I'm super excited to be reporting that it is.
Yeah, it was touch and go for a while. We didn't know if there was going to be a championship or not, but we're really excited that everything is kind of working out in the championship's favor. So, as you said, this weekend is the first round of the Hard Enduro World Championship at the Valleys Extreme in South Wales from the 10th to the 11th of May.
We've got a full lineup of riders at this event as well. But before we get into it, let's talk about a little bit more about what's going on from the promoter's point of view. This is something that, we are looking at quite intensely to figure out some information for us here at the podcast so that we can share it and disseminate it around our community. And for a while, it was only the announcement coming from FIM on their website. And really, that was it. And it was a little bit confusing, to be fair. We had a lot of messages from you guys. We had a lot of questions ourselves, and so maybe share a little bit with what's going on now, where you can find some more information about this.
Yes, that's true. So there actually wasn't a website or any social media for a very long time, and we've been trying to look for something, see if we can find anything, but to be fair, we didn't really know what to look for. I mean, you don't really know what the name of the new championship just is, but just like the promoter. So now there is officially a website and a social media page. Their website is fim-hardenduro.com. So all the information regarding the championship can be found on their website. And something that I thought was really interesting, and I'm sure a lot of the juniors would like to hear this, is when we were looking at the championship applications, we can see that you can either apply in the category of the World Championship Pro class or the Junior Championship. So it seems like the promoter is going to be continuing that Junior Championship this year and hopefully into the future.
Yeah, really exciting. And I mean, we definitely want to support that. That's something that's really cool. And it's just pretty much the future of the sport. And these guys are good, eh? Like these junior riders, they're going to give these top riders a run for their money. So it's really cool to have them have a class or a stage where they can show that off. Is there any more information about it other than that there's a class for them?
To be honest, there's not that much information. We can find a little bit more in the championship regulations about what the minimum age is, and I think it starts from 16 and then to the year that they turn 22. So the age is there, and to be honest, the rules and regulations are pretty similar, if not almost exactly the same as what they were previously when they were under, Wes promotion. So the information is pretty much the same. So the point scoring, all of the information, I wouldn't say much has changed. At least we don't find any big changes as of yet. But let's see how things go. Obviously, you have your calendar, which for now is still the proposed calendar, but without, Romaniacs. So
and Erzberg, yeah.
And of course, without Erzberg. But let's see how things progress over the next couple of weeks. I mean, I think that this website and the social media page only was created a couple of days ago, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I think that they also kind of just trying to find their feet. I'm not sure what to expect from this with regards to social media. I mean, previously we had, RD1 Hard Enduro, the official championship page before, and they posted a lot of updates, a lot of information, a lot of content. I'm not sure kind of what to expect from this new page, but I guess like follow them. You know what I mean? Like this is the official page, the official channel for the Hard Enduro World Championship. So definitely go follow their Instagram account, follow their website, and kind of keep up to date with what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm as much as I'm excited to watch the racing, I'm excited to see how the promoters get on here with this first round. I think that they've got some big shoes to fill, to be honest. Wes did a really good job. They had a lot of experience doing what they were doing. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to kind of follow up on that. And then also like another topic is that, you know, Wes had Red Bull as their media house, as their, you know, that they were helping with their media. So, I mean, that's who we were dealing with a little bit as well. And like, we don't know who that's going to be for Pro Touch Global.
Correct. Yes, that's true. I did see something on their website though about media. They had like a media section, and they said something along the lines of that they will have some kind of official World Championship media pool. So I guess something very similar to what Red Bull have when they have their media pool, but I'm not really sure kind of what that's going to look like. I mean, it's very difficult to compare anything to the Red Bull media pool, to be fair.
Yes.
So let's see kind of what happens with that. Maybe they've outsourced, you know, different media providers, different photographers, videographers. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of the information that we found regarding that.
Okay, let's get into it. Round 1 of the FIM Hard Enduro World Championship taking place in Wales. Valleys Hard Enduro.
Yeah, back again for the second year.
Second year. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but maybe I can jog your memory. Ridiculously crazy scenes coming from Wales. I mean, the fact that they had to water the track, super dry, dusty, those aren't conditions that you usually would think about when you think about UK. That was a unicorn of an event.
Yes.
This year, a little bit interesting. I don't know what the weather's got to do.
I did have a look at the weather actually. It seems like it's going to be partly cloudy on Saturday, because keep in mind that this is a 2-day event, so it's a Saturday and a Sunday. It says that Saturday, you know, about 23 degrees, partly cloudy, not much rain, but then Sunday comes around and there's like a 50% chance of rain right at the similar time that the riders are supposed to be racing for the main race. So I think we could expect some rain this weekend.
Cool. That would be pretty much the scene that I would like envision when I think about Valleys Hard Enduro, like when you see some of the Valleys Extreme stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of what we were hoping for last year.
What does the race schedule look like for this year?
That's a great question. So as I said, it's a 2-day event. So on the first day, you've got kind of your qualifying and a super enduro or your knockout. So the race is kind of split into 2 groups. You've got your AM and your PM. So your AM is kind of like the maybe not pro riders, and then your PM amateurs, is and then your of course that makes sense, amateur and pro. Your amateur riders will be in the AM and your pro riders will be in the PM. So in the morning on the Saturday, you've got a Valleys X Light, which is more of a more chilled version of the race, I guess. And then midday, we've got the AM qualifying, and then we've got the PM qualifying. So what happens with that is we have 3 laps with regards to this qualifying race. It's about a 4-mile course. Your first lap obviously is just your practice lap. Your second and your third lap are your timed laps. There are about 15-second intervals between the pro riders and 10-second intervals between the rest of the riders in that class. The top 48 of that qualifying will move through into the knockout rounds, and anyone from the 49th position onwards will then move directly into the Sunday race.
And about the knockouts, is it the same type of format that we saw last year with like a super enduro track? Is it going to be like very spectator friendly? Will people be able to watch what's going on, or is it going to be inside kind of the area, surrounding area?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is going to be on they have a super enduro arena. So definitely very similar to last time, where it's very spectator friendly. You know, there's going to be, I think the first heat is 1 lap, the second heat is 2 laps, and then the super final is 3 laps. And then obviously your result will determine your position for the Sunday. And I think with regards to spectators, something I'd like to point out is if you go, I think it's onto their website, you can actually see a whole bunch of QR codes that gives spectators some guidance on different key points and sections of the track that they can go to see different, obstacles. So definitely check out their Instagram and their website, so you as a spectator know the different areas that you can go both on the Saturday and on the Sunday for the main race.
You have to give kudos to the team there at Valleys and Nick for doing that. I know that they're very spectator friendly, spectator oriented.
Yes.
They put them very high up on their priority list. So, as a spectator, if you are inside that area, take the time and go have a look at what they've got prepared for you guys. I see that they've got food stalls there. They've got some beer. They've got everything for the spectators. So that's really, really cool to see. And also, just so for our listeners, if you want to find any of this information, I think the easiest way is just to probably go down to the description, click on the link to Valleys Extreme, the Hard Enduro's website, or our website, or the new FIM Hard Enduro website if you want to check that out. But yeah, let's get back into the schedule.
Yeah, so that kind of sums up the Saturday, really. You have qualifying and then your knockouts. Knockouts are definitely more entertaining, you could say. Definitely more spectator, more fun. And then we head into Sunday, where we have the AM race, which is in the morning for the amateurs. And then basically from about 12 to 4. So it's a 4-hour race on the Sunday, about a 6 to 7 mile extreme track, extreme sections on lap 3 and 4. So if you remember in your interview, they have extra extreme sections on the track. So only on the 3rd and 4th lap, only on the 3rd and 4th lap will there be these extreme sections. Obviously, by then, riders are going to probably be a little bit more tired. Stamina is going to be, a little bit more strained at that point. So definitely going to be interesting to see. So the idea is 4 laps in 4 hours.
I don't know about you, but that's definitely a section that I'd be checking out if I was there as a spectator.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not only to see the top guys go through, but there'll probably be a bit of carnage there later on inside the day.
Absolutely. So that kind of pretty much sums up what to expect from the weekend. I mean, I wouldn't say anything has changed drastically since last year. They had a pretty good setup last year, and this year they're kind of just refining that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we can expect with regards to the structure and the schedule of the event.
Yeah, and it's pretty evident that they've got it under control. They're really experienced with what they're doing there. The riders know the area because of previous years. The organizers know what's going on. So everything seems to be working really well at this point.
Correct. So something that I came across that I thought was actually really fun and really interesting is that there's going to be live commentary from Paul Bolton and Rob Warner, which I think is going to be super fun. I'd love to see how those two get along, both maybe on and off the track, checking out different checkpoints. I'm sure maybe as a rider and a spectator, you'll probably see them along the racetrack. So I think that's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that will be just an entertainment factor on its own.
Yeah. So last, I think, is the main thing is who is riding in this race?
Yeah, that's the question everyone's been asking. And to be fair, we've had one of the latest announcements only happened today. I mean, we're recording this on a Thursday.
Yes.
So it's literally leading up to the last days of this race that there are entries still coming in, big names. So yeah, take it away. Tell us who can we look forward to see?
So I'm gonna name some of the names of the riders that we are familiar with from last year. So we have Alfredo Gomez, who's going to be racing, Ashton Brightmore. We've got an interesting rider. His name is Ben Grommer, and he's actually from Morning House Racing.
Oh,
so
cool.
it seems like Vanya's team may be coming over and participating in this, which is really cool. We've also got obviously Billy Bolt, who's a key name here. Robert Crayston, a local. Charlie Frost, a local. Dan Mundell, I think, is also a local. Graham Jarvis is there.
Let's go.
He's from the UK. He should have enough experience of racing and riding there. So let's see how Graham gets along with the young uns. We've got James Moore from SA, Lenny Goretzky and Leon Volant, another big name. Actually, a couple big names. We've got Manuel Littenbechler. We've got Mario Roman. We've got Matthew Green. We've got another racer from Mullinghouse Racing, which is Matthias Milisch. We also have Mitch Martmore, Radford Chug, another local, Theodore Kabachev, Thomas Scales, another SA rider, Toby Shaw. We've also got, obviously, as we said, a big name who entered last minute was Wade Young.
Yep.
We didn't know what was going to happen with Wade. It was pretty quiet for quite a while, but seeing him as a last minute entry, I think is really cool to see. And last rider that I want to highlight is Sandra Gomez. She is the only female rider in the in the pro class.
Let's go. That's sick. That's really, really cool to see. And I'm really excited to see how this actually turns out from this racing. I mean, there's so many good riders. I mean, everyone's pretty much there that we could see. You didn't mention Theodor Kovachev.
I did.
Oh, did you?
I
Okay.
did,
That's
yes.
my fault. I wasn't listening.
No. I did. There are a couple other riders, but I'm not necessarily familiar with them. So I assume that they are more local riders, more from the UK. So I'm really interested to see how, the local riders stack up against, these championship riders. And also, we don't actually know who's entered into this championship. Like, we know who's entered into this race, but we don't, and we, any of those big names, we know that they're probably in the championship, but some of the local riders, they could be entered into the championship too, but we don't really know.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting. I mean, over the next couple of events and races, we'll definitely see who the regular riders are.
And actually, more importantly than the championship, what about the World Hard Enduro ranking system? This is the first round of the Tier 1 races.
Yes.
Big points to be scored on this one. Yeah, no, just kidding. I think that the championship is definitely needed, but we're pretty stoked to see what our Tier 1 race ends up becoming.
Yes,
the point system.
For sure, we've got a couple riders who are already doing pretty well in that ranking.
Yeah.
And so now to have some new riders kind of come up, some of the juniors. I mean, as we said, there is a junior class, but we only see about maybe 5 or 6 of these riders being juniors, so maybe our junior championship could be quite small this year.
And on another note, I really wish that we could give you more information about where you guys can watch this live or where you can get updated on what's going on at the event. Honestly, I think now your best point of contact would be to follow Valleys Hard Enduro on Instagram and maybe their Facebook page and just basically their social media. Take a look at the FIM Hard Enduro's website and their Instagram as well, because I guess they're going to have someone there. Like, who really knows at this point, to be honest?
I know. There's a lot of, I don't want to say lack of information, but it's just there's a slow trickle of information coming through, I guess, while everyone's kind of finding their feet. So hopefully after this race and during this race, we kind of get a sense of how things are going to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's going to be FIM officials there.
For sure there will be.
Yeah, I guess that, Pro Touch Global is going to be there.
I've heard that hopefully they're on their way.
Hopefully they're on their way. So let's see. I mean, it's an interesting one. I think that if anything, this is the one where they need to pull off all the stops. Like, this is the one that they need to go above and beyond to show everyone that we're here and we are committed to make this work. Not just for us as spectators, but for the teams, for the riders, for the sponsors, for just everyone, the ecosystem as we speak about it. In my mind, like, this is where I would go all out. Like, if I had budget, I'd spend it all here.
Well, I don't want to discredit, though, what Valleys have done.
Because exactly.
I think 99% of this event has basically fallen on Valleys' shoulders.
You're not wrong.
They planned this whether there was going to be a championship or not. So
Yes.
I would 100% at this point put all credibility or give credit to Valleys for the event that's going to happen this weekend. I think that, for the promoter, they are very lucky that an event like this is the first round and that they had such a great community and, organizer, putting in the time, the effort and the finances to put on such a good event. So yes, I agree. This should be a good event, but I think Valleys has got it under control.
Let's not forget, also speaking about money, we've got prize money on board this year.
Yes.
What is it? The same as what we shared last time at least?
£16,500.
Yep.
And that will be, this is a prize pot, and that will be basically split up between 1st and 12th place. And that is over, I think, qualifying as well as the main race. So if you come in a certain position in maybe that knockout round, you'll get some money as well as in the main race.
Let's end it off with some race predictions. Who do you think's got round 1?
This is now you got me putting me on the spot now. I mean, looking at this list, there's a lot of riders that could really do well. I want to say, of course, Billy is a key player, especially on his like home turf, right? But I kind of want to throw a bit of a span in the works and say that I think maybe Theodore might do well as well.
He did well last year. And I think for me, if I'm taking the World Hard Enduro ranking system into account, which tracks a lot of racing that's happened already this year, Mario is doing pretty well on that list, right?
Not wrong.
He's been racing.
Yes.
He's been actively entering events and bar banging with a bunch of the boys. So,
but we can't also forget the Brightmore brothers. Because they've also done really well recently in some recent events as well. So, it's going to be interesting to
both
see
of them
how
are
they stack up.
in pro class.
I don't think Ashton is in the pro class. I think Ashton will still be inside the junior class.
With Mitch in pro.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be a pretty standard move, I think, from their side.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this episode of the World Hard Enduro Podcast. Let us know what you guys think about round 1 and who your predictions are for this first round of the FIM Hard Enduro World Championship. And we'll see you inside our post-race episode as usual. So stay tuned and keep in touch with some of those socials if you want to be on top of what's going on this weekend.
Yeah.